So I'm playing the sklone here, and we're gonna go on to we're gonna go into I fired off a nuclear missile over at Giggity Googity Goo. We go to view sector and sector history, I believe, or sector news, and I was able to fire off a nuclear missile over at Road Russia, destroying 47 land, and somehow I don't know, something wrong with the screencast-o-matic. It's all jumpy and stuff, so I'm just trying to get my screencast-o-matic back online. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's a real crapshoot. Uh, Probably just a misplaced R or misplaced .com or some misplaced variable computation. Some key is missing. When you key into different codes or whatever, and you just forgot that that you got to make it uniform make all the codes uniform. You know, this is a regular patch update, and then it just buggers the whole system out, and then you have to get a whole new different patch or something out there. And it happens. Human machinery. It's gonna suck if we're on the astronaut ship, and if the windows don't work or something, and then we are die on the but like I said, millions of variables. Coding is actually the most suckiest of all jobs because you don't know what a code is, you don't know what the keywords are, and you don't know what the codes are, the source codes is, and you're spending lots of time in front of a computer typing away at it, and being so. So it's good to see that I'm helping to eliminate my own kingdom here, and Probe Russia got hit really hard. I'm rebuilding a new missile, a nuclear missile, so nuclear. And then I went to go and burn down all the Probe's buildings, and let's go destroy their stuff again. 8 homes. Ooh, that's 2 hits in a row. 2 fires. 16 homes altogether. He must be weakening. I must be weakening him. Ha! Yeah, weakening. Knows your breath, man. And that's on Police Academy, where Hightower is fighting this really grunty redneck or a really big giant, and he said, "Ha! You're weakening." And he says, "No, it's your breath, man." And he says, "Boo, boo hoo. Quit crying. It's gonna be over very soon." And he says, and Hightower says, "Okay, that's it." So that's one thing I can't stand is bad jokes, and he goes and beats him up. Punches out the lumberjack-looking dude, really big guy. So, boo, boo, hoo. Quit crying. It's gonna be over very soon. So, looks like I've been booted out of the kingdom here. And I gotta go in here and so far so good. It's recording nicely. And then oh, it's a good experiment. Hawk. Told you get your dumbass kicked from chat. I get your dumbass kicked from chat. And this means what? Your message cannot be delivered because you don't share a server with represent, or you disable direct messages on your service. Recipients only accepting direct messages from friends, or you're blocked by the recipient. Okay, so let's just block this. Let's just block this fuckface here, and let's see, how do we block this guy? Message Hawk. Ah well. Let's see, Hawk. Add friends. Offline. User settings. I don't think there's a block button here. Put marks on red. Oh, this thing came up. This should pop up again. There we go. C-bot. Well, that's okay. Let's see. Profile. Blocked messages from the kid. There we go. He's blocked. Unblock. Delete this message there. This is some kind of weird message there popping up. So there we go. That's the way to make that message go away. Just keep on clicking X. I don't know. The computer's been buggy lately. So delete Sweegan, Sweegan, and Sweetie Belle, or whatever the hell this guy's name is. Sweegan Hawk, direct messages. There we go. There. Add friend. How do we friends blocked? Hawk is blocked. Okay. Hawk block. Cock block. Woo! I caught you cock block, you dumb block. Buck. Ooh, I got you good. I got you good. Okay, and then but that's okay. I mean, the whole point is to make the people mad at me, and I'm going to continue to wreak havoc on this game here. So we're going to continue doing our chapter read and page 204 read, and continue reading up on this chapter, and I'm going to continue to I'm still alive, still causing trouble. And let's go to still causing trouble. So let us go and attack. Let's just follow the advice and let's go attack him. Attack maybe Sephiroth or maybe Ryan. Jack Ryan. Are you gonna be Jack Ryan? Are you gonna be Jack Ryan? Okay, it'll be Jack Ryan then. I'm gonna assume he has 200 of each. Jack Ryan from the Tom Clancy books. The American Analysis. The American James Bond. I'm more of a John le Carre fan myself. It's gonna go into successful. There we go. Give me some barrack spaces, and maybe give me some soldiers. Yeah, soldiers good. Soldiers good. Defense, offense. And when Probe Russia comes back online, we'll just keep on hitting Probe Russia and just keep on laughing at his dead corpse. Block message from block messages. I'm the greatest Team killer. I fired a missile at my own teammate. No, better not. Let's just go under the radar and continue to build up missiles and just keep on continuing to burn that guy, and then hopefully in a few hours we'll come back and we'll continue to do it over and over again, and it'll be fun. It'll be so much fun. Yeah, it's so much fun. I'm the funniest thing on in this game, you know. I'm funny because, well, it's because I'm funny, you know. It's like Archie. We were watching the Archie show yesterday, Riverdale, and it's funny because now you figure out that it was a secret code that made not the Tangerine code that turned Betty Cooper into a psycho killer, but turned her into a oh, Aronius. Hey man, you were coughing at Chow Hogan. You're coughing a lot and doing big loogies in your latest videos. Do you have a dedicated loogie bucket? Spittoon. Actually, hope you are doing well. Actually, yeah, yes. This is what it is. See, there's a lot of goo. These are actually, like I said, I'm coming off of a cold. Also, if you're down there, it's one of those. This is a North American house, so it's using the air vent, circulated air vent system. So in that case, if that's the case, you need to really filter it up. We don't have HEPA filters. We have those fiberglass ones, and we just replaced them 2 years ago, and now we replaced them now, and they're pretty dirty. So, but I've caught this cold from a bunch of people, kids at school. Lots of times in our program, they're single mom students, right? And they're still I just get them burnt out of there. So a lot of times they're single mom students, and their kids get caught. Their kids are in preschool school. Lots of indigenous parents too. So lots of indigenous parents, young kids. So therefore, lots of goo, and you spread the goo onto the parents. They cough on me, I cough back on them by accident, and we all cough. But this year is very different because this year, because of the coronavirus, you think that everyone thinks I'm carrying something. Although this is pretty seasonal. There we go. Actually, my coughing is actually quite less severe now. Because I'm using a humidifier with Vicks Vapor Rub in there. It's behind me. If you can see it, it's that guy down there. That guy down there. The Vicks Vapor Rub. Oh, computer's acting up again. So let's just click on this here. There we go. I'm using Vicks Vapor Rub, and also my mom's giving me some teas, some special teas to build up my immune system. She's also giving me these cough and congestion meds pills from Hong Kong, and they're really doing the trick. So for the past 3 years, I've been battling these, like winning the clearing out the crap in my lungs, the goo, the big loogies and goo. So also you're on the C train, and also it's very common people cough. Actually, to tell you the truth, I'm seeing less and less smokers these days. Maybe Calgarians or Canadians are smoking less, but back in the 90s, back in the early 2000s, a lot of people were smoking, including myself, and this was very common. I used to get bronchitis until the doctor just fucking chimped on and said, he says, this smoking is not making you better. And I kept on every so often, every month or so, I kept on coming back to him, telling I have bronchitis or some kind of respiratory illness, and he kept on saying, he says, those smoking is not making you better. So then I guess quit smoking. Because a lot of times with COPD, it's bronchitis is it's an infection of the lungs, and the smokes and stuff is COPD. That's soot and stuff in the air. So also my mom was we had the fortune of having some really good weather these days here in Calgary. That's one of the benefits of living in Calgary is you have good weather some days. Some days it's icy cold. But 80% of the winter is actually dry and warm. so therefore it's shooting out, getting some fresh air in here. All my clothes have been put away. I still need to vacuum up this place. Vacuuming up all the loogie, because when it dries, it encrusts, right? So I have to vacuum that up. And who knows what kind of stains have been here. Of course, just take the wet wipe and just wipe this whole place down. Not the wet wipe. I meant to say the the Mr. Clean wipes, the Lysol wipes, and anything that's related to dust. Really. Plus, me playing around with bottles isn't helping things. But yeah, I am doing okay. RONES, thank you for asking. Once again, this thing's on. Let's get things up and running again. So, horror therapy. Yeah. So I've also made a contact with my teacher today. Well, two students who've gone incognito, not incognito, incommunicado. So incommunicado, they're not communicating with me and another classmate. So my classmate, the classmate who is on board with this project, is she did say out of her own mouth that work on what we can. She'll talk to the other people, and if not, if that doesn't work out, then she'll just says do what we can. And she'll take that into account that they're because I have been making lots of peaceful emails and lots of peaceful group messages. One of those specialized forums that you can post in college, where you can post different threads and stuff to communicate. And because they wanted one of the competencies of the school is to teach electronic communications, because that's where things are going these days, emails and forums especially. And a lot of times, a lot of students, because Calgary is undergoing a rapid economical change here. Namely, no one needs our oil anymore, or no one needs our coal anymore. A lot of times, these oil workers, especially indigenous middle-aged ones, are being they're figuring out they have to re-educate it and work another 10 or 20 years of their work the next 10 or 20 years in their new job. And a lot of them picked social work, a lot of them picked social justice, a lot of them picked law, and especially hospitality and business. Because the government, the FN communities, First Nations communities, or First Nations, as I call them, aka the reservations, if you want to be a dick about it, they're the government. It's very centralized. It's a very command economy where the chief has his own circle, really strong leadership, hereditary, or the colonial system where we elect a chief, which has nothing to do with hereditary lineage or anything like that, with the traditional indigenous lineage. So the power is in the circle. This is the first layer. This is the first layer, and then the second layers, and third layers, and fourth layers, and whatnot. They have students. They look for really hardcore, well-educated students to kind of build up this little community. Through charisma, through charisma. A lot of times, this organization, the tribal council, will be in charge of education, their own economical enterprises, which tries to bring in their own indigenously made economy. Sometimes they're blessed with having land. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're placed in some very inconvenient place. But they have resilience, and then for many years they've been able to be able to build some kind of basic economy, but not enough for the wholeness of their their tribes are still pretty much impoverished and stuff, and with a lot of social issues, addiction being amongst them. This is also very common for rural communities too that aren't connected to the city. say Cremona or Sundry, some other communities like that, alcoholism is very rife in the countries. So it's going to be even more rife for people who have nots. So the idea is to go get an education, start making really smart decisions, which they have been making, and a lot of pride, because they are. Again, your question of if I'm coughing out loogies, yes, I am. It's cold and flu season. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing lately, and like I said, this leads back to the new core competencies of how these 50-year-olds are supposed to relearn computers and stuff. So I've been helping them do that, helping myself learn as well. Like it's not so much helping myself learn. Actually it is. For the past 3 years, I've been working with other classmates, working on assignments, working on group projects, helping them write their own essays and formulate their own ideas. And and two particular students are very, very good at it now. And they were like, this is like they're from the era where you can still do this, with their fingers, and like my dad is like that too, and my doctor's like that too, because that's actually how the old typewriters was before they actually taught us to use all 8 other fingers, the home row keys and whatnot. But like I said, they've been working like these particular 2 ones have been working on up north, the stands, the oil stands, and the pipelines and whatnot, and lumberjacking and all these other mineralizing, and also being a rancher. And so a lot of times they need to get their new skills, and they have. Once you learn how to teach, like I mean, there is such a thing as teaching an old dog new tricks, right? You can, and they've been very open to it, and then I've also learned from them. I also learned about the indigenous ways in the culture, and I've been making some inroads. Me and some other allies, non-indigenous allies, are pretty much well recognized in the indigenous community, as well as the environmental community and now the LGBTQ community. So we're pretty much out there. And actually, I like to continue doing these once I graduate. Continue making the economy more inclusive, the economy more inclusive. And I'm coming on to the 30-minute mark, so I got to continue studying. Reading week is coming up, and here in Canada, I'm not sure if you guys have this in the States or not, but there's a special week that you have to just chill out and read your textbooks and chill out and do your assignments. And hopefully, I've got 2 assignments coming up. We got 3. Then I got a blanket ceremony. So, System of a Down. So yeah, we're just going to continue to build up my economy, my provincial government here, and hopefully we'll be able to do something with our something came in. Okay, so let's go explore some land. We're going on a spaceship. Oh, at the end of this month, also I got to start formulating my findings for the green BBC. Me and a classmate went up to Edmonton to learn about sustainability and all these other new trends in sustainability. She personally went up there because she's in charge of the trying to help the school go trying to help implement a fair trade policy over with the school cafeteria. Trying to find as much fair trade sourced ingredients as possible, or fair trade sourced ingredients as much as possible. My particular one is I just want to go on a trip with a classmate. I mean, we're both going to be graduating this year. She's going to be graduating this year. I got 1 more year to go, and try to make it as much as possible. Try to live through my missing college year, my missing high school and early college years where I was one of those students who were geeky students. Well, sort of wallflowers that went to school and studied a lot. For what? I'm still in the associate degree level, diploma level. But I plan to go on to getting a better getting at least a bachelor's 4-year diploma, and getting a master's to see if I can start using your tax dollars to use the most a maximum extent of your tax dollars, basically. Grant money, tax money, your donations, to make sure that these are making a fair and amicable, a very fair and amicable system for Americans, Canadians, humans, any humans who are forced to live the thug life. You know, the thug life didn't choose. They didn't choose the thug life. The thug life chose them, and that's the truth too. A lot of times, a lot of communities have been devastated by forces beyond their control, such as downsizing or maybe outsourcing, and maybe sorry about that. The deep south, for example, Louisiana has been hit multiple times. You got Puerto Rico been hit multiple times. You got Cuba being hit multiple times by all sorts of storms that are going to get even more worse. So a lot of times also, like for example, you got ecological fires from all realms of hell, especially here in Alberta, that's causing havoc. So, and here's the thing: our population in the worldwide is going to go down, but eventually it's going to go back up once we figure out that we should have at least 2 kids. A 2-kid system, not the 30-kid system. That's kind of hurt the mom's coochie. Hurt the mom's baby maker. And the dad's dick. But so I'm thinking that with the advent of technology, it's kind of, like I said, the advent of technology, nanotechnology, longevity technology is going to wreak fucking havoc on the system. And that's a good thing too. That's progress. But we need to, the human services try to mitigate these changes. For example, outsourcing and stuff. You know, who would have thought that my people, the Asians, the Chinese, the Vietnamese, and the Malaysians and the Japanese and Koreans would take all the jobs, right? Take all the jobs. The Mexicans would take the jobs, which is good too, because that's the whole point. Because they have more money to spend, and they have more money to spend. But the thing is, you can't take. You know, who would have thought they take all the jobs, right? So therefore, this leads to inner city communities, factories from inner cities just going poof, and then the vulnerabilities of the inner city are exacerbated, accelerated, or I'm not sure if I'm using the right word, but there's a word like that, exacerbated, and that's what social work comes in, trying to make things less painful. I'm not saying that the people are evil because they're taking jobs. No, the machines are going to take the jobs. The machines are going to take the jobs. So automation. So we have to figure out yet another way to. But we have the technology now. We have the basic knowledge. The technology doesn't also refer to machines like pens or technology. No, it also refers to knowledge too. Like the idea we have the experience in the background to kind of make these transitions changing differently. So that's just some thoughts on my mind. Indigenous people are going to be recovering. Their populations are recovering and growing. Like I mentioned before, the Afghan communities are growing stronger. Ghana won its big land deal, and the Ghana government won this big land deal. Now Ghana is a blood tribe, by the way, but it's pronounced Ghana. Ghana, that's the name of the particular nation. It's extended southwards towards the U.S. Canadian Montana Alberta border, and westward towards the Waterton River. They're getting part of the Waterton National Park. Is there, or provincial Waterton? I think it's a national or provincial. Can't remember. Waterton Lakes, which was actually burnt pretty bad in the summertime, but because of extreme rains and stuff, good rains, they're recovering very quickly, and so it'll be very interesting to see. During the past 5 years, many Métis nations have been giving land bases, especially up north. So The Métis are demanding and getting their rights that they deserve. Some territory back. And like I said, once you've been rooted down, then you can start making decisions, start making plans, start having lots of babies, and repopulate that way. That's a good thing. We need to have more diversity, and we need to have more indigenous. This is their home. Canada needs to evolve. The Canadian system needs to evolve. These crown relationships need to evolve. See, the thing is, because of warfare, because of disease, because of suicide rates high, and all sorts of gong show bullshit that the crown has done against the indigenous people, their population has dwindled. But their population is recovering, bouncing back. For example, Ghana is a very high tech. Not 100% high tech, but they're very advanced. I mean, they got the tail feather clan, the tail feather families. They're family of doctors and leaders. Esther Tailfeathers of Lethbridge is a doctor who's pioneering who's a leader against opiatisms and has set up a lot of treatment centers that helps not just indigenous people but non-indigenous people too. So Caucasians who are suffering from these addictions. Of course, Lethbridge is a smaller city than Calgary or Edmonton, so they have their own resource limitations. But they are an urban center. They are a very urbanized center. So I wouldn't mind living in Red Deer. I wouldn't mind living in Lethbridge, actually, to tell you the truth. They got a huge. Lethbridge is recovering, and with these extra lands given to the Kainai people, who have a strong economy of ranching, and they provide also foodstuffs for Japan, such as surplus crops, especially hay for the Japanese Wagyu beef, the Kobe beef, and that is bringing in billions of dollars into their tribe, into their millions of dollars back into the province. So if that continues to grow, then there'll be more need for infrastructure rebuilding, which will benefit everybody in that community, which the Carson County, Lethbridge, that whole zone, and this in turn helps Alberta too, because there's more economy, more revenue, and more revenue is always good for everybody. So that's ultimately what social work, the thinking of social work, anyways, is that we're not giving away free money, we're not giving away free your tax dollars or grant monies or donation monies. Is that we're using it to build in projects. But the thing is, we have to scientifically prove to everybody, that these projects work, and they do. Like, who would have thought that improving the land would actually yield them a lot of profitability, but also making sure that the land is something healthy that sustains this ecosystem, including yourself. This is a green planet we have to live on, and this is keeping us alive. And that's how the indigenous have been living. They live economy off the land, but they also take good care of the land. One thing that I'm really interested in is their buffaloes. The buffaloes, you may seem to see this as some lumbering quadrupedic fur beast. Yes, but it also produces a lot of food, and also takes the buffalo has immeasurable improvements on the land. For example, it eats a lot of plants and does its number two, and this number two becomes soil. You can actually think of long ago when these buffaloes used to roam the savanna provinces, the prairie provinces, the plain provinces. These creatures will just keep on going, like going number two, and this actually builds more land, right? So, and when they die, their bones dissolve and calcifies, and again nourishes the land. And these are like huge seas of it. So you have this huge sea of it, and now this population is growing back. Back to Ted Turner, he runs a buffalo restaurant or something, a chain of buffalo restaurants. But also lots of herds, lots of private herds. They're also growing restoring it, and also lots of lots of sorry, lots of woodlands have been restored too. So, and also these indigenous communities themselves have signed the Innu treaty to kind of work, pooling their resources together to kind of restore this life form, this very important life form. So hopefully they'll return, and hope that'll be a very good boost for our efforts to keep this land alive, keep our country alive, keep America and Canada alive, and also to enjoy as much as we can the benefits of high-tech living, modern living, but also keeping intact the very things that are keeping this planet alive, keeping our modern living alive. And that's where social work comes in, because it keeps people alive by keeping them from jumping, keeping them from doing drugs, or increases the ability to keep them alive, so they're not wigging out on some very mad narcotic, and then jump in front of a bus, which is very common, especially in Edmonton. So you got a high level bridge now. They put the suicide barriers up, and yeah, hopefully these reforms will be very useful to keeping the population recovering. But in the meantime, let's recover my population in this kingdom here, and see what I'm doing here, and see population change, net worth change. I'm losing money here. I'm losing power here. The power change. I'm gaining power again, and so I'm losing people, but I am gaining people as well. See, I'm still in recovery mode, and I'm still in good shape still. So that's just where I have been lately, where I've been going to school lately, and loomying it up. And like I said, reading week is coming up, so I have to somehow synthesize all this babbling information into some kind of a weird paper, and so my brain's going into crazy mode. And this is why us professors and psychologists all we seem like we're on a different planet, because we technically are on a different planet. Our planet is in future land. Sorry, we're not today land, and we are scared of yesterday land. But today land and future land are much more better than yesterday land. Like I said, when I was a young man, when I had hair, and I was a young man, here in Calgary, especially in Edmonton, there were lots of. I think we were having our first wave of modern refugees from Nam, the Nam, Laos, and Cambodia wars of the 80s and 70s and 60s were a bit too earlier, but they all seem to have settled in Edmonton, because Edmonton seems to be an attractive place for refugees because of the jobs, right? The idea is okay, think of this as a space. Think of this as Star Wars. Okay, it's the Sith or the Yuuzha Longs or whatever, or some alien, the Yuuzha Longs, or come and destroy planets, and then all these humans go on different worlds, especially in Coruscant, and that's what happens. And then your character, I'm referring to Knights of the Old Republic. The Knights of the Old Republic then goes and kills a bunch of gangsters, kills a bunch of hut-like gangsters that are enslaving humans. Or if you want to play as a Sith, then you can enslave the humans. And so it's the same here on Earth. I guess this is why I really am adamant against racism against Indigenous people, because they have endured multiple waves of immigrants, refugees, including my own Asian people, and That's one thing that we have to realize. This is their home. This is their home planet. This is their Coruscant, and their Coruscant wasn't enough to hold enough for the Coruscantians and Coruscantians, and then so we will try to be the best citizen we can to kind of make your life easier and productive and workable for everybody. And yeah, that's my dream, anyways. That's why I'm doing this, anyways. Like I do portray myself as some kind of a man child, because I am, but I also have a very sensitive intellectual mind as well, but my intellectual mind is in the field of being a productive citizen, trying to make things work. I guess it's because I've been hanging around a lot of old people a lot when I was younger, much younger people friends, and a lot of times old people would try kind of any ethnicity would try kind of direct my attentions to more weird geeky shit, cool shit, and that's where I am now. I'm on the verge of becoming a community leader. It's very tiring, but it works, And I do sympathize with the business world too, because in the business world you're there to make money, you're there to make a business, and you're there to be productive, and you have the drive and a lot of the benefits too to being productive. Like say for example, this ancient Chinese master dude, right? The first emperor of China. He's got all this power. He was able to kill a bunch of other Chinese tribes and form the Han dynasty and the Qin dynasty, Jing dynasty. This is not, and he formed the Hanosphere, the Sinosphere. Sinim. This is a Hebrew word actually. Sinim for my people, for my country. So therefore, a lot of times these people, these imperials have the power, and it's very much an imperial system too. But I'm very, very curious to see what will the indigenous, because their powers are recovering very quickly, and well, it'll be interesting to see. Whatever, nonetheless, it'll be very, very interesting to see how the indigenous, how well the indigenous rule, and they've been ruling very well. And perhaps humanity next 50 years from now, especially Alberta, continues to flourish, and that'll be a good dream too. That's my dream. Ultimately, I want to keep the country alive and surviving, so that hockey and football stays alive and recovering. American football as well. I prefer Canadian football. I don't know. You get paid a lot less of Canadian football though. We got a lot of American players up here. Like Levi Mitchell of Calgary, and I really wanted him personally. I really wanted him to move on from the CFL. He was being courted by the Minnesota Vikings, so that would have been very easy to follow his career down there. If it's just his dream, that's fine. Not to speak ill against my own country, but it's his dream. Which Canadian or which American teenager doesn't want to football quarterback or doesn't want to be a football star, making billions of dollars, being the next Tom Brady, and he started a dynasty here in Calgary, so. But in my case is to continue these my case for now is to continue sandy spray I got on the environmental skill trip. My case is to continue using my professional skills to kind of make life, try to promote a good life for everybody. That's the way I was taught. I went to Scouts. And it shows. Like I know all about ecology, outside doors and outdoors, because that's what we did. Camping on the weekends. Of course, during the daytime for for Friday camping, we go and set up all the food, set up all the beddings, and set up all the clothing. Which is we're just supposed to pack pack light 2 packs of undies, 2 packs of clothes during the day, and of course our scout uniforms. Well, actually, we didn't have the scout uniforms. Those are for more formalized stuff. But a lot of times it was to teach us to explore our own planet, explore our role in society. I personally want to see more indigenous stuff in the scouts. The indigenous perspective, and I don't mean those really cheap ass campsites with the teepee and the lame teepee and stuff. That's like that's just patronizing. Actual indigenous stuff, and we're supposed to explore this planet. Be taught by elders to explore this planet, explore the ecosystems, how they work, and how. Otherwise, this knowledge just will go dissipate. Unless you're an environmental science student. Environmental science. Well, if I were to learn science, if I were to master math, which I know is paradoxical because I'm Chinese, I haven't mastered the sacred mathematical geometries yet. I will have to if I want to eventually move on to master levels and translate data into social action. That's going to be quite difficult actually, because okay, social science. Because social science is a realm of touchy-feely feelings with very hardly real scientific measurements, we have to be very creative to find out outcomes and stuff. For example, I'm team killing you guys, right? Say for example I'm team killing you guys, and I'm really being a real fuckhead about it, and I'm really being racist. I'm insulting you guys instead of trying to communicate with you people, having fun. Say for example, I was back to my old self, and I was like really telling you guys to just eat shit and all these homophobic slurs and all these other nonsensical, just being a real cunthead, right? Just being a real douche nozzle, twat waffle, or whatever you kids say these days. Then this elicits the fight or flight angry modes of you, and then you guys make fun of me back, and I make fun of you guys back, and make fun of me back. And if we're not in good humor as we are now, because we are very good humor about it, then these can be measured by physiological reactions, such as your face turning red, or my face turning red, feeling hot and bothered, got the blood pressure going up, and stuff. Those are tangible ways of measuring eliciting emotional responses. Or if we're having some good laughs about it, then we have the ha-ha meter, and we can start measuring. I don't know, start measuring pee or start measuring blood or however it is to measure happy neurotransmitters such as lovey-dovey tickle hormones. What was it? Oxytocin? I always get these two mixed up. Oxytocin or OxyContin. Oxytocin. Oxytocin is the natural happy hormone, and OxyContin is the dopey drug that makes you dopey. So therefore, hug your kids. Tell your kids you love them. Hug your pets. Tell your pets you love them. Then everyone lives a nice long life of gooey pink goo. And it's good for the brain too. And that's what I'm trying to inspire. Gooey pink goo. This is all what's 3 years of humanity's taught me. Now I'm gonna try and get a job over at the at the Alpha House. That's a very, very painful, very, very serious job though. That's the one homeless shelter that allows for people with addicts. Some don't, some are abstinent clean. The DI center, drop-in center, allows mild intoxication. The Sally Ann, the Salvation Army one is zero. Center of Hope is zero, no tolerance. The mustard seed, no tolerance. The salsa ones are very family oriented, where kids stay. No tolerance there, of course. The Alpha House is the only one that allows for mild intoxication. So that one is a very colorful position. But I have the ability to inspire happiness too. So, and in my case, you guys are actually playing well with me. I'm playing well with you guys. You guys are taking this in good stride, and as am I. Over at Utopia and over at Mythia, some players really got hot and bothered too. So, and I'm playing the StarCraft, and I'm also getting players hot and bothered that way too. And like I said, I'm complex. I'm a complex player. I'm good and I'm bad. So I'm coming down to our 15-minute mark, so I'll see you guys later. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching our show. We're going to be right back. Thank you.